Hi, welcome to Key Skills 5. Congratulations for getting so far. We're nearly over. We have a couple more left to do, and let's get to it now. We're going to be looking now at indices that we need to simplify involving fractions. The trick here is to separate out your numbers and your x's and deal with them separately. So I've got 18 over here, and that's divided by 6. Then I've got x5, which is divided by x4. 6 goes into 18 3 times, or 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now, with the x's, if you're dividing, you need to subtract the powers. So you need to do 5, the top one, subtract the bottom one. So 5 subtract 4, and that will give you 3x power 1, or just 3x. In our second example, we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to have the 24 over 30 separated from the x cubed, or the x power 3, divided by x power 6. 24 and 30 are both in the 6 times table, so we can cancel down this fraction here by saying that 24 can be divided by 6 4 times, and 30 can be divided by 6 5 times. So we've cancelled down this fraction here to give us 4 over 5 by dividing both the numerator, or the top, by 6 and the bottom by 6. We need to do the same before, where we need to subtract the power on the top by the power on the bottom. So we're going to have 3 subtract 6 is our power on the x. So 3 subtract 6 is minus 3. You can leave it like this, or because it's a negative power, you can put it underneath. Remember, negative powers can always switch over to 1 over x power 3. To tidy that up, I would just say 4 times 1 is 4. And 5 times x cubed is 5x cubed. So this is going to be my final answer. So we're going to start our third example now. It's getting slightly more complicated because we're going to introduce some fractions. Just a quick recap. If you have a fractions, the top one is the power and the bottom one is the root. So we'll start with the number again. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And then we need to subtract the top power, subtract the bottom power. So we need to have x power 4 take away 7 over 2. If you're not familiar with how to subtract if you have fractions, you need to have a common denominator. So if we work that out on the side, 4 is the same as 4 over 1. But we need to have, both of the fractions need to have a common denominator of 2. So we need to have this bottom number here being 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So I've got to do 4 minus 7 over 2. I know that 4 is the same as 8 over 2 minus 7 over 2, which gives me a final answer of 8 minus 7 is 1 over 2. The bottom numbers need to stay the same. So now I've got an answer 5x power 1 over 2. If you remember from previous lessons, power a half is the same as the square root, because the 2 is on the bottom, that's the root. So I can also write this as 5 square root of x. Generally speaking, we don't write this little 2 here, but that just reminds you that it's the second root, not the cube root. So let me delete that. So 5 square root x is my final answer. Last one in this section, so you're nearly finished. 14 and 21 are both in the 7 times table, so let's start with that. I can cancel down 14 over 21. Remember, I'm just looking at the 14 over 21. I'm not worrying about the x's for the minute. 14 and 21 are both in the 7 times table. So 7 times 2 is 14, and 7 times 3 is 21. So I've cancelled that one down. In the next step, I'm going to take away the top power, subtract the bottom power. So I've got x to the power of a third, subtract 2. I'm going to work that out on the side. 2, or 2 over 1, we need to have a common denominator. In this case, a common denominator of 3. So I want this to be out of 3. So to get from 1 to 3, I need to times by 3. So I do the same to 2, 2 times by 3, and that gives me 6. So in order to calculate a third minus 2, I do a third minus, instead of 2, 6 over 3. I've got a common denominator now of 3. 1 minus 6 is minus 5. So I've got 2 thirds x to the power of minus 5 over 3. So we can see this example is really a bit trickier because you've got both the minus and the fraction. You should always deal with the minus first, and the minus flips it from the top to the bottom. So I'm going to have 1 over, and I'm going to put it on the bottom, 5 over 3. You see how now I've switched it upside down. I don't have the minus anymore. And I'm going to simplify a little bit further. And I'm going to say 5 is my power and 3 is my root. So I'm going to have 2 thirds times by 1 over, draw my square root. Now out here on the root, I'm going to put the bottom number, the 3, and I'm going to have the 5 as the power up top. If you want to write it a little bit more neatly, you can say 2 times 1 is 2 divided by 3, the cube root of x power 5. Stick around. In the next video, we're going to be looking at brackets and how to deal with them.
The team at Maths with Sophie have made a free ebook to go with this video series. We've broken the topic down into small, manageable sections. Each section has a video tutorial that you're already watching, interactive questions, and model solutions from exam questions. To claim your free ebook, you don't need to download anything, you don't need to sign up for anything. You simply click the link below and it will open in the web browser of your phone, tablet, or computer. If you enjoy using our free ebooks, make sure you check out our website because we have other ebooks on different topics.